Looks like this first Fantastic Four movie only had a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes, based off of 214 reviews. Marred with goofy attempts at wit, subpar acting, and bland storytelling. God damn. Fantastic Four is a mediocre attempt to bring Marvel's oldest hero team to the big screen.
Unfortunately, the doctors just couldn't do anything to fix your face.
What's going on, everybody? I am Winston A. Marshall, aka the Swaggy Blerd, and this is my C.P.T. review of The Fantastic Four, the 2005 Fox movie. Now, if this is your first time here, please be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you know every time I'm putting new content out, man. And please be sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoy it, and get in the conversation. Jump down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this film, your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, what you think will appear in Deadpool and Wolverine coming out next week. All right, man, I'm going to jump into I'm going to start doing these faster because I'm trying to make sure I get all of them done beforehand, and that's a tall task considering we're about a week out here. So super quick. This is the movie directed by Tim Story, written by Mark Frost and Michael France, starring Ian Grufford as none other than Reed Richards, Jessica Alba as Sue Storm, Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, Michael Chiklis as Ben Grimm, Julian McMahon as Victor Von Doom. You got Kerry Washington in there as Alicia Masters. Yeah, a whole slew of folks that you have definitely heard of doing things now. Some that have kind of retired, taken a backseat, all that good stuff. But either way, this film came out in 2005, had a budget of about somewhere between $87 and $100 million with a box office of $333 million. The plot, super quick. Reed Richards, along with Ben Grimm, convinced Victor Von Doom, CEO of Von Doom Industries, to allow access to a space station to test effects for exposures to cosmic energy and with biological samples to potentially cure a lot of different things. Von Doom agrees, brings along his assistant and Reed's ex-girlfriend Sue Storm and his reckless brother/pilot Johnny Storm. Cosmic clouds arrive. Ben is out there in a suit. Everybody else is kind of behind cosmic shields. It affects them in different ways as they all get hit. When they come back, you find out that Sue can become invisible and create force fields, reconstruction like rubber. Ben turns into a rock monster. Johnny can engulf himself on fire, and eventually we find out that Victor is starting to turn into metal and conduct electricity. While on the Brooklyn Bridge, Ben accidentally causes a traffic pileup trying to save a man committing suicide, and in the process, all four of the Fantastic Four members use their powers in order to save folks and stop them, and they end up in a press conference where they end up as the Fantastic Four.
A new day is dawning. The day of the Fantastic Four.
People originally seeing Ben as a monster start seeing the four of them as heroes. They move into Reed's lab at the Baxter building, and they try and find a cure for the whole situation. Meanwhile, Von Doom Industries has completely tanked. The shareholders are out, and Victor is pissed because now he's turning into this freak. And at the same time, he's lost everything. So he offers his support, but he is secretly ready to take Reed out. Ultimately, Victor, as Reed is not doing a very good job of getting this all sorted out. Johnny isn't cooperating possible, and Victor is able to convince Ben that Reed isn't working on it at all. So they start to fight, and they force a wedge between them. Victor ultimately brings Ben to his lab and uses it at this particular moment to Ben is able to be turned back into normal, but it ultimately gives Doom more power. It turns him more into metal, and he's able to really do the whole thing. Fantastic Four have this big showdown in the middle of the city. Ben, ultimately seeing there's no way that they're going to be able to win without him, turns himself back into the thing, and they fight, and they win, and Doom gets sent off, and you find out that Doom is actually headed for Latveria, where he's originally from. So that's the super quick version of what the movie was about. I didn't take notes. That's okay. So let's talk about it. I mean, one, I think this movie is kind of cheesy, but it's cheesy in the good early 2000s kind of way. It reminded me of these Spider-Man films. Not quite as good as the OG Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2, but like same kind of feeling and vibe. I really enjoyed it. Thought Chris Evans was super likable as Johnny Storm, like very obnoxious, the cool kid out here with his flame powers, hitting on all the ladies as Johnny Storm is prone to do. I thought he did a fantastic job. I thought Michael Chiklis really brought a lot of the pain that Ben has. I thought that was really well done. I thought that Sue, played by Jessica Alba, I honestly thought this was perfect casting of all four. I thought Ian and Sue were great. Doom, I don't dislike Julian McMahon, and I thought he did a very good job as Doom. I am looking forward to seeing who they put Doom in for this next iteration of the Fantastic Four, but I think he did bring good energy to the character for sure. I didn't love the idea that we didn't get the full scope of Doom's powers. We didn't get the magic element and stuff like that. Like, Doom is way more than just I'm being slowly mutated, so I don't love the retcon of Doom, but that's okay. I'll accept it for what it is. I do appreciate that they got the rivalry in there and whatnot and stuff like that. I thought that was really well done, and I genuinely enjoyed this movie. But again, some of the cons, don't love the Dune retcon. You cut out a standard superhero origin story. Reminded me a lot of Shazam, where there weren't a lot of things to solve here. You were mainly just watching them get used to their powers, so it was a lot of like experimentation with powers. So I would have liked maybe a little bit more hero work for sure, and we get that in Rise of Silver Surfer, but I do think that is actually the worst movie of the two. But for an origin story, I thought this was really well done. A lot of fun, definitely. If they had been able to kind of keep this up, I think we would have got more than 2 movies before we got a reboot. But I think that they just did not hit the way that the X-Men films were hitting, things like that. And like looking at this, it looks like this first Fantastic Four movie only had a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes based off of 214 reviews. Marred with goofy attempts at wit, subpar acting, and bland storytelling. God damn. Fantastic Four is a mediocre attempt to bring Marvel's oldest hero team to the big screen.
Unfortunately, the doctors just couldn't do anything to fix your face.
Jesus, audiences gave it an average grade of like a B. Like, I don't understand why they need to be that harsh, but it is what it is. But I will say it doesn't have the staying power of, say, Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2, of Batman Begins, of the other major films of the time, and especially once the MCU hit, it definitely wasn't keeping up with that. But I still, again, I thought it was a good movie. I thought they did a good job with it, especially if you're not the biggest Fantastic Four fan. I think this was a nice way to get introduced to the whole team. But what do you think? Are you on the same page with me, or did you not really like it? If I got to rate it, I'm going to put it at I would honestly give it a 3.5. I'd give it a 3.5, a solid score there. I guess that's technically a C for me, but that's okay. I'm not pressed on it, man. I think that it was a fun little romp. As far as what I think will be in it, I could 100% see either their big fight scene. That might be one. I could see maybe somehow in the bar, like, because that's where Ben meets Alicia. I could see something like that with Deadpool. That could be interesting. I think we're more likely to see more from Rise of the Silver Surfer as far as like power swapping and stuff like that than anything, but we'll see. We will see what happens. Those are my predictions, what will happen in Deadpool and Wolverine. But again, I want to know what you think. Do you like the film? What do you think will be in Deadpool and Wolverine? Be sure to check out all the other C.P.T reviews and the other content I have on the channel as well. All right, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. I got to go watch the next one. X-Men The Last Stand. We'll see you on the flip, man. Peace.